are finding me today not posted in my usual spot. I am at my uh, bookshelf. This particular bookshelf hosts some of my work in progress projects and some of my past journals. So I'm actually going to venture up to the top shelf here, and we are going to locate March's journal from a previous year. So let's see, this is December, which means if they're in order, which they should be, this is January, February, March. All right, March. All right, so you don't see my messy crafting zone. We're gonna keep this firmly in front of the camera. Okay, so let's look up here. All right. Okay, so the intent and purpose of this entire video is to basically show you some things that I have done journal making wise, to capture my journey in this. Just so happens to be a physical journal, but I definitely have other mediums in which I use to capture parts and pieces of my life. And so I just wanted to show you this again to hopefully inspire you or to give you ideas if you've been wanting a journal but you've been feeling stuck or something like that. So I don't know exactly how this is going to go, so I feel a little exposed, but if it helps somebody, then mission accomplished. So this is the journal that I pulled together. This journal is from March 2023, so it's a couple years old. But that doesn't mean that the topics and information isn't relevant. And I also wanted to show you this idea or share with you this idea of evolution. So part of the reason why I started physical journal making, this particular one is a folio, but why I started to make physical creations related to my journaling and have more of an artistic twist to them rather than just like text to a page was to explore my creative energy, was to enhance and articulate my water energy, which is very prominent in my chart. And so that is a part of my journey. And I just wanted to, again, flow that into my journal making. I don't even know. Okay, these things. Okay, I forgot which way it happened. Okay. So this is it. This little folio dude opens up like this. So I create a table of contents because I have issues, I guess. But yeah, so this is the table of contents for this particular journal. I give titles, like primary titles and secondary titles to all of my journal entries. And that also helps me remember kind of what the topic is. And when I return to the journal, which I do encourage you to use your journals as opportunities for reflection, when I return to my journals in the future, I can use this as a guide to help direct me and kind of find my location in the journal. Now, the tricky bit is that the journal itself is a little like it's not quite like a book. So I did treat it more like a junk journal sort of situation. So some of the entries are printed and you probably can't read that because it's really tiny text and it's in cursive. But sometimes I have to go through with like a magnifying glass. It looks cool though. But I use a lot of like bits like this. And again, this could be an opportunity for you, like if you buy journal kits or something like that, and you don't really know what to do with like the little pieces and some of the cards that you get and tags that you get, like maybe this can help give you some ideas on what to do. So these are just like journaling. I think these are actually scrap bits or something like that that were left over from, and I was experimenting with dyeing paper and stuff like that. And I just wrote on them, you know? So I think today's the 2nd, right, of March. So this was my journal entry from 2023 for the 2nd day of March. And basically it was like out with things that are not working for me and end with things that are working for me. So it was just like a little message to myself. just a reminder to keep things in your life that are positive and beneficial to you. So again, I was just using these little bits, and you can too. I did a lot of cartography that year, and so I just printed off the spreads on the days, and like I had to label them so I remembered what day that it happened on. So you can do something like this, and I feel like I could also come back because again, sometimes I return to my journal entries, and so I can come back and add additional notes or comments, or like sometimes when you're you're using tarot or cartography, like things have not yet happened that you see in your reading, so returning to those and adding more information or more notes sometimes is helpful. So this one's from the first, which there's a huge journal entry on the first here in the beginning, like this. So this spread went with this whole journal entry. So I just try to keep it close to each other if I can't keep it on the same page. And again, like I use the little tabs and tags and stuff that come in the kits that you get. These are images from an event that I participated in that month. Yeah, it is kind of nostalgic going over these things. Like, oh wow. And it's also really wonderful to see how far you've come in your journey. Like when you return to old or previous journals and you see like the things that used to like bother you or things that were unclear and how they've become more clear to you as time has gone on. This is a little tricky to read, but it's just an idea. It's me experimenting with different mediums and using this bigger, again, like the readability of it's not great. Yeah, so I wanted a peacock theme for this particular journal. My other months during this year have different themes for them. And if this is something that you're interested in, I can certainly do other flip through types. So just again, exploring some cartography readings that could or could not be associated with other things. So this one I was doing some dyeing or something. Yeah, there we go. So I could certainly like write on the back of this. And I do that sometimes. I return to stuff and I reflect. And I encourage it so much. I don't know if I would necessarily consider this an art journal, although it does have some aspects of that to it. But there is a ton of writing. So I don't know. Let me know if you journal, if you're interested in journaling, and if you do journal, like what type of journaling do you get down with? That would be fun. Yeah, I was just messing with like some spray dyes and stuff like that. Yeah, this was me doubting this particular entry is about me doubting my career field, which is in architecture and design. And I was like, should I be doing this? I don't know about it. It's good to ask these questions and just not take for granted that things are givens because you've dedicated so much time to them or energy or money or whatever it is. These digitals, I think, are from who are these from? I think probably an assortment of people because I usually buy an assortment of digitals. But I think maybe Digital Curio or something on Etsy. Yeah. And then there are just as extra bits that might come in handy later and just some scrap pieces that I kept in the bag that either might come in handy for this project or a future one. Yeah. So, and I love, like, can you see this paper? Like, I don't know if the light's reflecting off of it, but it is, like, so pretty. It's got, like, this gold sheen to it with all of the different purples and greens and blues and stuff like that. I don't know. I love the way it turned out. Yes, it's lumpy, but again, like this was me experimenting with paper crafting and just kind of dipping my toe in and just jumping in and starting something. Um, and I would say that use this season. Like I feel like spring is a really good season to like start something new, something that you um maybe have been thinking about but haven't pulled the trigger on. Like just give it a go, give it a try. There's something like youthful, light, and curious about spring that I would use as a tool, as a mechanism in which to begin things that maybe I wanted to try. And if journaling is something that you want to try, go ahead and give it a go, um, and see where it leads you. All right, my beautiful kindred souls, this was my message today. Yes, so if we're not already connected, please do consider subscribing, click a like on the video. Thank you those who were able to join me live, and I look forward to seeing you in an upcoming video. Be well, blessed be.